whole world is the community. And we must all take care of each other that way. And it's not just a community of human beings. It's a community of plants and animals and elements. And we really need to understand that. That's what's going to bring us joy, too, and pleasure. That's what's missing in our lives right now. We can call it spirituality, but the fact of the matter is, joy comes from that bliss of connectedness. That's our God spirit. That's that side of ourselves that really feels it. And you can feel it deep inside you. It's this amazing, wonderful feeling. And you know it when you get it. You don't get it from money. You get it from connection.
Now, if that isn't a hazard to this country, how are we going to keep building nuclear weapons? You know what I mean? What's going to happen to the arms industry when we realize we're all one? It's going to fuck up the economy. The economy that's fake anyway. 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 Which would be a real bummer. You can see why the government's cracking down on the idea of experiencing unconditional love.
What's going on? You already know it's your boy Juice Baby and your chest making it do what it do. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is another episode of Optical Illusions on False Up Podcast. And we're talking about the power of projection and programming. And I'm really looking at how it go down because nobody really gave the individual opportunity to actually project how they see life, like the dream world. You know, you ain't got no dictators in your dream world telling you what to think and how to think. So just that power of being an individual, you knowing that you wake up every day to be yourself, but you're being guided, and it's a projection from other individuals, you understand me, that actually mapped out how they see fit you should. They want to say, dedicate yourself to the world or society, how you're supposed to be able to correlate to, your peers. That's why they take you to grade school and things of that nature to see how you operate. Because from that point, it's like a broken, if they creating a toy or something, it's malfunctioning. They know where to put it. You understand what I'm saying when I'm trying to tell you something? So the programming, the projection is very powerful. It's very powerful. And then a person that can program or project, you really have to see in the future. I mean, deep into the future. And the only way that you can see into the future, 20 years, 30 years, 40 to 100 years, most time is the people who are controlling the resources. They the only one that can project majority of the time the stock market, things of that nature. But you really got to look at the programming though, that somebody just like you and me, human beings, done grouped up together and said we finna control the rest of the world. And then you have different fashions and different people in different religions or way of life, because these is the main projections and programming that we've been through these institutions. So this would be spoken about, but not being in the barbaric sense of mind frame, but we still in that set mindset, because we are still barbarically beating and killing one another, murdering. Like this is our highest form of being a human, is to put harm on somebody else, to take something from somebody else, to take what they food, to control their mindset, the variety of things that they can choose from. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody is projecting and programming, and that's the illusion. You already know what time it is. Don't have to be spoken about, but to explain your awareness and how you look at life and how you project your life, or are you being projected by someone or being ran? Because it's a lot of puppets and puppet masters out here, and to the point where some people are being controlled and don't know they're being controlled. You know what I mean? Like that really body snatchers, snatching your mind. Once a person got control of your mind, they got control of your body. So when I'm looking back at, because you ain't gonna know this when you 2 and 3. You ain't gonna know this when you 12. I mean, a lot of times you have to grow up into this knowledge that people who are already involved in it, because everybody is waking up. They growing like, man, what's going on, man? This how we supposed to do it each and every day, waking up, repeating the same cycle, nothing changing. You know, everything stay the same. So that means somebody controlling that narrative, because this life, man, don't work like that. This, like, everything changed, bruh. Nothing never stay the same, my brother. You may assume that way, it may look like that, but look at our future and look at our past. We ain't riding around in carriages and doing that stuff, but it's changed. The motion might not, going forward and backwards, up and down, and you know what I mean? You got laws of nature that ain't gonna never change, but what I'm saying is the way we live and accept life. Because people can be programmed by superstitions. People can be programmed by fear, hatred, envy. And these the programs that they use, and these the tools they use to break us come together as a system, but we're still a part of their system. But we'll fight one another and talk about them as, you know, people know who them is, the people who going against us. I mean, they really got to speak about who them is, because they are already in control. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I actually think they really think we retarded and stupid, because we still continuing to live this fashion life, whatever, however this is. We keep living this life each and every day. We ain't broke away from this system, in this cycle, and went and try to forge our own way of life. You understand what I'm saying? It's people that haven't been broken from their way of life. Y'all can look it up on the internet, YouTube, or there's foreign nations, countries, not countries, but the islands. And people done, you know, been living there for over 800 years or 8,000, however their system ain't been broken. They don't live modern day life like how we do. They still been living their ancient way of life. So that let you know that the way that you accept the projection and the program is going to be your outcome. So it's many projections and programs out here. That's what the film is. That's when you go to the movie, how you can take that film down and put another one up. They projecting the image, and then you accepting the program. Is how they set the pieces up on the board, you know, and the angles for you to actually accept what's going on in your life, and you think this was supposed to be going on, and then you because you're using their platforms or their machinery, they feel like they have control over your voice. And it's like, okay, when you start to create your own machinery to speak out of, right? They're going to try to regulate how you speak out of, because you're still inside their facility, right? Most of the times, that's why you see these, what they call terrorists, people who fighting against fascism and whatever they democracy them trying to take over their countries and their resources. Everybody ain't finna be bowing down to all that stuff because you coming, you know, telling me this and telling me that. You understand me? And then what you telling me don't benefit nowhere in the history or in our future of our people, and we still allowing this to go about. I don't understand it, because when you fighting to exist, right? Because some people want to be a part of stuff. I ain't caring about none of that. That's why, you know, I done been through and dabble, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't attached to none of that. Yeah, hear me? Because if I was, I'd be a part of those systems. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, when do a person actually get a chance to project, not in a negative way, because it could be negative or positive, you know, so because through trial and error, you know, a person learn how to stand. I mean, you know, you could be broken or you could be made whole in a way. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, pressure do bust pipes. Yeah, you know. So we actually going forward with the understanding of somebody can actually write a script, a play for you to follow, and you following it T to T. But you haven't actually broken down and wrote your own script. You too, what we call it, cause you ain't lazy, cause you stay, you know, trying to narrate somebody else's life instead of narrating yours. So that'll be the time you could be writing down what you could be manipulating in your own way of life. You understand what I'm saying? Cause I mean, that's where I'm at in life. My point in life is stop allowing the world or anybody to program and project how they see fit for me to live my life. I mean, each individual have that opportunity to be their own individual, bro. Their own person, own woman, own man. You know, without any influence, we need to actually be cultivating each other, complimenting one another, you know what I mean, and sharing our way of thoughts and feelings. It's not trying to control one another, and that's where it's coming from. It's coming from the control. Once you want to control the resources, and the people need the resources, now you got to control the people, so you don't want the people to take over and abuse the resources. So you teach a person how to, you know, cultivate, and it's been led, and that's what, you know, one thing about what I can say, like in where the Bible come in, that, but not just because they put the information in there, but the information was passed down, you know, from generation to generation and word of mouth on how to cultivate the land, like the reality of it, not the spookism when you want to put me out of my mind and I don't know what the freak going on, and then you start to understand that it's astrology and then certain fashions is a part of your mind, and and then it's different dimensions in your mind that you're going into. Then you start finding out that they name them dimensions, and what you're getting caught up in is fighting against yourself in this biblical fiasco, if you want to per se. And them different characters they renamed them, but if you knew the purpose of the characters that was created and named, you'll find out it is just your whole body. You are the universe, like your own universe, period, point blank. You your own universe, and you mix up and you orbit around other people, which is planets and suns, right? You understand me? And moons, galaxies, and you keep coming up in the cities, and all that represents those fashions. It ain't nothing outside of that. What we as men and women, what we were doing is explaining our reality, bro. Period, man. When you start going outside of that, then you making up stuff. And we actually explaining our reality, you know, what the sun is, and how, you know, how we relate to it, the wind, the trees, the animals. And we done got, like, if you go beyond that, then you really making up stuff. Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Disease and plagues and all that stuff was in wrapped up into our way of life. That's our genome. And go through it and fight it, and you know, the next generation do a little better. You know, I might start off with one leg, and we might find out we need two. You know, and them genes, they do what they do, and the next generation come out with two legs. You know what I'm saying? And the limbs, everything represent a part of life, a state of being. You understand what I'm saying? So the program, the projection, they put somebody in front of you that is the spokesman for these people, and then they take control over your narrative or whatever you portraying. But then to the point is that people ain't blind no more, and so they gotta hurry up and rush first. Sometimes them people ain't never had to say nothing. They just sit back and let you bump your head, and then you be saying something too powerful, and they know that the lens is being cracked, or the veil is being lifted, because it's people agendas, bro. Come on, man. If you say demons and devils, it's just us. It's humans. You got a demon and devil in you. Then, I mean, if you want to call it that, it's just your sick way of thinking. It's the lower consciousness. Where the Shaka gang come in at. You got different members inside your own body. You know, you got an aggressive type of person, probably a happy or sad. All these emotions is these different entities that you can allow to balance out in your life or run your life. And they know it. They tapped into it, your imagination when we was kids. That's the projection. The programming. They had to reprogram that. The rewiring and still have control. Just like actually finding a Russian satellite or a Chinese satellite or European, whatever it is, and you know, and redirecting that, you know, back. You take it and you break it down and find out what works and how it ticks, and then you restructure it in your own way. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what they doing to us as humans.
Your strength of yes. Yes, I took on power back. It takes a village. It takes a team. So when I said I'm switching it up, I want everybody to leave here today buying something from somebody. I want everybody to leave here with somebody's number. I want everybody to leave here promoting somebody else on their social media.
Boss Up Visual Podcast offers media services for reasonable price quotes, created to aid the urban community with marketing services for your business, products, or services. Book your interview or ad by emailing bossupvisualpodcast@gmail.com or simply fill out the contact form. Boss Up Visual Podcast is geared towards business and life topics, teaching individuals how to build wealth, make smarter financial decisions. Boss Up Visual Podcast is hosted by Shakita Days and Derek Days, founders of Derek Denzel Days II Corporation. Sometimes looking at life and business from one person's perspective or type of group can be misleading. Teaching you how to stay bossed up in the competitive world. A visual podcast shows step up, raise your standards, and for the direction of your life. Boss Up Visual Podcast features sub-segments hosted by business leaders, authors, coaches, and individuals looking to expose their brands. Become a VIP listener, get access to rewards and more by subscribing.